my goodness. And there it is. Wow, get the pin to go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Bowl TV for day number 3, round 3 of qualifying at the 2021 USBC Queens from the National Bowling Stadium in Reno, Nevada. We started off this competition with 110 competitors, and after today, we're going to be down to the top of 64 for the double elimination match play bracket. Folks, my name is Aaron Smith. I'm joined by Inside Bowling's Mike Flanagan, and we are ready to get underway here for A Squad for their final 5-game block in just a couple of moments. Mike, the scoring pace slowed down a little bit yesterday on this 42-foot condition, and we saw one player notably have probably one of the roughest stretches we've seen since the relaunch of the PWBA Tour, in Shannon O'Keefe.
Yeah, I got to watch it firsthand as I was following her around the entire block. I followed her the entire day, and it was tough to watch. It really was, to see her struggle and go through that. It'll be interesting to see if she has a nice bounce back day here today. And she is in jeopardy of potentially missing the cut if she has the similar day as she had yesterday. She opened with 240, 2-0, and then we won't talk about the last 3 games. No reason to put salt in the wound. But it's also cut day, and, the cut is -8.
-8, yeah.
So -8 is your cut score, and there are some pretty solid names outside of the top 64 is what we're cutting down to here out of the 110 athletes that have been taking the lanes the last couple days. So we got one more day of qualifying for you, and it's going to come down to it. And later on tonight, we'll mark up the board, and we'll find out who's going to be bowling who in the first round of the double elimination Queens bracket. Don't forget, and as we jump ahead to the stepladder final that we'll have coming up Tuesday night, the winner will have to lose twice, which I just like to keep talking about that because that's different this year. You will have to lose twice.
That is a very big note. And speaking of players just outside the number, we're going to go ahead and start on lanes 49 and 50 because we actually have 3 players within the mix who are on the right at the cut number or just outside of it. Debbie Ayers at -6, just inside the number. Lindsay Boomershine just outside at -15. And Katie Robb, the winner of the 2021 Intercollegiate Singles Championships, at -1. So very important opening game to hopefully find some momentum for each of these competitors as they look to find some extended play here at the Queens.
We talk about it a lot, Aaron. Pattern memory as a pattern gets laid down multiple times, as well as how the players choose to attack it. I kind of got the feeling yesterday from what I saw and gathered from walking around talking to folks that the athletes started a little bit further left, a lot of them did, than they did the first day, which may have led to more confusion. Because we saw on the first day, a lot of the straighter players played out around 5 or 6 with surface, which if any of you that bowl on a regular basis that are watching here on Bowl TV, you know that if you burn them up outside, you create a hook spot, which increases the scores. Well, a lot of players starting farther in yesterday, there wasn't that hook spot to the right, and there was more friction in the front part of the lane and in the middle part of the lane, which almost created a little bit of what the old school, the old timers would say a reverse block, where there's less oil in the middle than there is on the outside portion of the lane.
The scores did reflect that yesterday. In round number 1, we saw a couple scores north of +84 block. Jordan Richard going +230. We did not see that yesterday. The high overall score was +158 for the day by our tournament leader now, Liz Culkin, who's at +284 overall. So we saw the scoring pace drop. The number actually stayed the same for the cut. So it started the day at -8 after round 1, remained at -8 after round 2.
Which is very unique. You know, self-admittedly, there were some players that had really good first days that just said, I'm gonna try some things here. I'm gonna move around different parts of the lane. I'm gonna use different bowling balls. And the one thing I would say is to be careful of that a little bit. I realize it's 2 tournaments, and it really doesn't matter where you make it into the bracket, but don't make too many weird choices to put yourself in danger of missing the cut. I can particularly remember one player at the Masters on the men's side that was boasting about, I'm going to try a few things this block, and didn't stick to his original game plan and missed the cut by 25 pins. So I would say if there was a day to try some different things out, it may have been yesterday, but today it's probably time to put the pedal to the metal and get back on it and get lined up and take what you learned from the first 2 days of qualifying, the 10 games, and try to make your best educated guess, get lined up, and bowl the highest score you can today. That would be my plan of attack anyway. Good morning to everyone in the Bowl TV chat. I see you guys in there. We are working on the what you guys are all asking for. We're working on that for you. Debbie Ayers with a opening double, a 9 spare. Looking good this morning, starting out. As Aaron mentioned, just barely in the cut currently. Cut score is -8 to make it in the top 64. Need to have a big day here out of Lindsay Boomershine. Needs to have a plus day, I would say. Plus 30 to 50 range today for her should be safe. Lindsay certainly capable of being able to do that. A little surprised she's outside the number right now, as well as she's been bowling. Oh, hello. That's a nice one. 710 falling out, pins all over the deck. Pretty good shot by Debbie there, and I don't know if you call that a break or what you would call that. Now we got a trip 4. Pins are falling here. Maybe there's a couple trains underneath this pair right now, and it's shaking the lane a little bit.
It's the power through the pocket, Mike.
That's right. And hey, guys, I a couple days ago we talked about Daria Payok, and it was met with some controversy when I said that I would take her over anybody in the field, 12 shots in the pocket. Jordan Richard was listening at the time and actually pulled me aside. Said, "Hey, what about me?" I did give her honorable mention at the time, but it was kind of funny. I love it how all the players do watch Bowl TV, which is a great way and a great tool to understand what you got coming up. So everybody here today that's watching, that's going to be bowling during B Squad, good luck this afternoon, ladies. But Daria Payok, guys, yesterday, while I was busy on assignment, bowled 299, and that was disgusting what happened on the last shot. That was filthy. Solid 8-pin. But she hit the pocket 12 times, guys. Bowled 299. Highest game of the event, so I think that's my point. Just to throw that out there. So Jordan Richard, she's on the next squad, right?
B squad for Jordan, yes.
Yeah, so she's watching. Jordan, prove me wrong today. Hit the pocket 12 times and beat 299 for me. And then I'll let you put a pie in my face on Bowl TV. How about that?
Is it a literal pie?
We could do a whipped cream pie, whatever we want to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go to the bakery there at Silver Legacy. It's the weekend.
Yeah, and I'm being serious too. This is not a joke. Seriously, if Jordan Richard bowls 300 today, I will take a pie in the face the next day on Bowl TV from Jordan.
You heard it here first, folks. Live scoring should be up and running now. So thanks to our friends at Merrick and Rick Barbera as well from Brunswick on site here, all working together. Do have one string of strikes to keep an eye on, way down on, I believe, 69 and 70, Cara Mangiola. Starting off with 6 in a row. Christine Gill had the front 6, and now 7 out of 8. She can max out at 277. And actually, let's head over to that pair because talked about Shannon O'Keefe at the top of the broadcast. She started with 3 opens today. Has bounced back to deliver 5 in a row. The shot here from Katie Robb. Attempted. Also with Verdi Crawley and Christine Gill.
Yeah, Christine bowled a pretty nice day yesterday. I did follow these three ladies for every game and every frame. Verity bowled well. She had a couple 2-0 games in there that were a lot better than 2-0. And I told her, hey, nice game, Verity. And both times she goes, what do you mean nice game? And I said, well, compared to your counterparts and just how tough they were going left or right, because it would want to check up in the mid lane, and then if you got it to the right, it'd want to hang. Like there was a lot of that for the crosses that these ladies had. And I said there was a lot of friction there, and she's like, well, I like friction. And she thought she should have had 230. But I mean, I watched her 7-10, I watched her wrap 10, 7-pin. I watched her do just a little bit of everything yesterday. And she started slow just like the day before. After 2 games, I said, oh, this is where you go and get all your pins right now. She's like, I certainly hope so. Wasn't a great day for Verity, but still in the cut. And, I talked with Brian and Chuck Gardner last night about Shannon. And they said, we just got to get her in the cut. Because if you look at what she's bowled on the fresh the first 2 days, 250, 250, and then yesterday 240, 2-0. She's 160 over for 4 games 1 and 2. And what is the bracket contested on? Fresh.
Whole bunch of fresh.
So they're not worried at all about Shannon in the bracket. What they're worried about is games 3 through 5 today. And, there's the potential she's going to bowl safe today. She may just stay out to the right and just try to bowl 2-0 the last 3 games and not try to mess with the middle of the lane where they got really squirrely yesterday.
Finishes with 206, and you mentioned playing right. And that was, something we caught her in game 3 of day 1 after she was plus 100 after 2 games. So we caught her in game 3, and that's kind of the zone she was playing. It looked like she had moved in to start yesterday.
She did. She tried the middle.
So 206, a nice save after.
Verity.
Oh.
I'm telling you, Verity's had some major carry issues throughout her qualifying. And you know what that typically means. If everything evens out, the law of averages, Verity's going to strike a lot in the top 64. Because I've just seen this young lady just completely just get hosed all day yesterday. I mean, and still had a great attitude. That's what was amazing. As a matter of fact, anytime she got a double, you actually saw her right arm go up in the air and like give the little fist pump, just because she was just so happy that she could get a strike, get a double. She was throwing 2 different balls on 2 different lanes a lot of the day yesterday as well.
Well, Mike, she has not been afraid to do that here at the National Bowling Stadium as she took over the lead in the Diamond Singles event at the USBC Women's Championships prior to the start of the Queens. She actually said going into game 3, and she was making the turn at 524. So, you're at 524, you're probably pretty locked in most of the case when you're averaging 260. But she saw something on the right lane that said, hey, I need to do something here. I need to change something up. And so she ended up making the ball change in just 1 lane. She finished the last game, had a chance to shoot 280 after making the ball change, using a different ball on each lane. So something she's already comfortable with doing here at the NBS.
By the way, those of you that were wondering if the Shannon Sellens train was coming, it is. Choo-choo. It's cruising along right now. 259 max score heading into the 10th frame. She's down on 53 and 54.
It's been near the top of the leaderboard throughout the course of the Queens so far. This is a friendly reminder to all of our friends watching on Facebook and YouTube that after the conclusion of Game 1 here, we are going to only send the feed to bowltv.com. So if you want to continue watching not only today but throughout the rest of the tournament, you're going to have to subscribe and check it out. You can watch the action live here for the Queens specifically, including the stepladder finals for $12.95. You can pick up a monthly recurring subscription to Bowl TV, which not only gets you the live events, but full access to the site. So archived events, all the on-demand content as well. That's $9.95 per month. And then an annual subscription if you're looking long-term to support the PWBA tour and watch all the great content from the PWBA and USBC short duration events. That'll be $79.95. Transaction fees do apply for all those, but head over to bowltv.com. We have giveaways. We have a chat open at all times, a great community. So come party with us over there at Bowl TV. Debbie's going to finish at 177. Kitty's going to stay at 178 here. Lindsay, clean game with the strike up there. Just look at the 225. Excuse me, 215. No, 225. I'm doubting myself. I've seen these scoreboards enough over the years, I should know. She got the strike anyway.
She did, and she needs those. And this is a good start for Lindsay.
And she's someone who has historically had success here at the Women's Championship, or at the National Bowling Stadium, specifically looking at the Women's Championships. She has her 3 titles in the event came here. She's bowled a 300 game here. She bowled great prior to the start of the Queens here. Would have contested for the all events lead. She had 1 bad game. Nearly shot another 300, 289. Big double there. Is going to get into the 220s. I was right the first time. That's what I get for doubting myself. Got to say it with confidence, Mike. So she's going to get it on the right side of plus here. Presumably into the number. Just like that.
Yeah, right into the number. And Debbie Ayers is going to have to get it going in game number 2. Remember, they will move just 1 pair over to the right for game number 2. It'll be on fresh again, a pair that they practiced on for 7.5 minutes, broke them down a little bit, and they'll move over to there. And again, I know I heard you talk about it yesterday, Aaron, but we've been mentioning it. Just a reminder, because it's such a big deal. 40% of all of qualifying is on fresh.
All right, folks, with that, we're going to wrap up game number 1 here. So as we mentioned, for the folks watching on Facebook and YouTube, we hope you head on over to bowltv.com, pick up a subscription to check out the action. But for right now, we're going to take a quick second to make sure everything's good to go for game 2. We're going to say goodbye to the folks watching on Facebook and YouTube. Once again, please head on over to bowltv.com to continue watching wire-to-wire coverage of the 2021 USBC Queens. But, folks, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back for game 2 here from the Queens on Bowl TV.
All right, Bowl TV chat. Checking in on you guys here. I do appreciate some of these comments in here. Got torched a little bit on Facebook and YouTube for that round there. Not sure if this has already been discussed, but when does Team Malaysia and Singapore plan on competing on tour this year? I don't really have an answer for that. We do have a player here from Malaysia competing this week. Aaron, do you want to expand on that a little bit?
Sure, we can talk about that. Shalin Zulkifli, I believe in 2020, actually after, I want to say 28 years as part of the Malaysian national team, elected to retire from competing internationally representing Malaysia. So she was actually planning to come out to compete on the PWBA tour for most of the season. I know there were some things at home that caused her to cause a little bit of a delay for her coming out here. So glad all those things are cleared up for Shalin and her family. But her and her daughter are out here right now. She competed at the Women's Championships, took over the all events lead, 22:53.
Yeah, shake that off.
So the third highest all events total in 101 years of the Women's Championships.
That's amazing.
And now she's here competing this week. For the rest of the team, though, I don't believe they're going to be making a trip here, at least in 2021. So that goes for Singapore as well. That obviously could change, like many things, but at the moment, I don't believe they're scheduled to make an appearance on tour this particular season. We would obviously love to see them out here, but certainly understand with the just kind of everything going on in the world right now that staying home might be the best course of action for them. And if that's the case, we certainly will look forward to seeing them in the future.
Yeah, I think Snoop Dogg was early to the party years ago when he said tripping ain't easy. Tripping ain't easy right now with everything that's going on in the world. So Margarita asks me, how many bets do I make a day? Look, it's an interactive community. I certainly bring a little bit of a different twist to Bowl TV. I certainly enjoy to play games on the air, throw out bold predictions, whether I am right or wrong, doesn't matter. Not afraid. Draw a line in the sand, put it down there. And yes, if you're just joining us, Jordan Richard, Bowls 300 today. I'm going to let her put a pie in my face for a comment I made 2 days ago about Daria Payok having the most devastating strike ball, the most power through the pins. She was listening, didn't like it, told me about it, which I appreciate dearly and greatly, that a player will come up and tell me when I'm wrong. So Daria Bull 299, hit the pocket 12 times. Jordan Richard, if she can beat that today, she can put a pie in my face. We're going to leave it at that. And now we've got the biggest Jordan Richard fans in the chat, they said. Jeff wants to know what pair Dee Dee Davidson is on. Jeff, why don't you fly on out and tell us? No, I'm just kidding. She's not bowling this event, but boy, what a great name from the past.
Jeff has been dropping a few names over the course of the past few days. We've been seeing you out there, Jeff. Got some Alita Sill the other day.
Now Jeff asked, what Tammy Turner shoot? I don't know, but Donna Adamek, I think she had 279 to start the block. Sal watching in Florida. Thanks for being a subscriber. Thanks for watching this morning. or actually afternoon in Florida.
The weird thing about players coming in for the second squad of the day, and it's not just been one, it's been multiple, is that everyone still says good morning when they come in for the second squad because they're just so used. When you see someone for the first time at the bowling center, it's because you're bowling the early morning squad. That happens. And they say, good morning, how's it going? It's like, and then all of a sudden they catch themselves and say, wait, it's not actually morning. It's already 3 o'clock here. But it always feels like morning when you're starting off a fresh squad.
It does. It does. I do appreciate the PWBA schedule this year starting a little bit later in the day. Otherwise, some of those events, this is what it would sound like when I'm on air. Good morning, everyone. Welcome into the PWBA today. Enjoy Game 1 coverage. Commentary free. See you in a minute.
Send coffee.
And then there are half the people in the chat are like, can they start it earlier, please?
I mean, we're international here, Mike. We got,
Oh, we are.
Our buddy Hosan, who's always in the chat, is usually here at the very, very beginning of blocks, but then he's only here for like a game or two because he's, overseas. So all of a sudden, it's time to go to bed over there. So, it's a great community. It's a fun community. We appreciate everybody tuning in. And game 2 here, off to a nice start for all 3 competitors: Shannon O'Keefe, Verity Crawley, Christine Gill. O'Keefe up to plus 40, Crawley plus 75, Christine Gill plus 155.
Shannon playing right up 5. Is this the game that Verity Crawley can put it all together? With all the bad carries she's had the first 2 days?
Mike, I believe you made a bold prediction a couple days ago about Verity as well, when she started with the front 3.
I did. What'd I say?
I believe you said you felt with the way her ball was going through the pins at that moment, she was going to shoot 300 that game.
Yep, and I think she wrapped the 10 pin. Yep, on the next shot. So I'm doing it again. Right here, Verity Crawley. You heard it here first. Stick around, folks. We got 8 more strikes coming up for Verity. That over under 4.5. People at the book are not real happy with that line I set.
I took the over.
Yeah, you're one of the few.
I'm in big time trouble here. Yeah, I need Jordan to roll that 300 now.
They had a guy by the last name of Thomas roll into the book with a huge briefcase of money. Book that under. They said he's a whale. and I said no, he's lost weight recently actually.
Oh, Michael.
Yep. Yeah, he just rolled in, dropped his briefcase, and come on, Verity. Come on, Verity, for the sake of William Hill.
Shannon, a fresh mindset heading into today. And I couldn't imagine what was kind of going through not only her mind, but the ball reps, her team here. She started off game 1 with 3 consecutive opens.
Oh.
Obviously, though, she turned that around. She saved that game, got to 2-0. Looks great here in game 2, 4 out of the first 5.
It just goes to show that you got to show up every day on the PWBA tour. I mean, we've seen some strange things happen here on the tour already this year, right? Mm-hmm. It all started back at the Kickoff Classic, right? we're expecting more of the same, right? That's a trend is your friend. More of the same. First event, who's bowling each other for the title? Danielle McEwen versus Shannon O'Keefe. Here we go. Everything's great and grand. And then boom, Danielle doesn't make the Hall of Fame Classic field. Disaster day. We saw Shannon O'Keefe yesterday not have a score that low in arguably a decade. It's just been a strange year. And that just speaks to the conditions that are put out on the lanes, how it is a test every single game, every single frame, every single week, every single squad. And you cannot take anything for granted out here. Even the ability to compete for some of our international friends. They couldn't even take that for granted. They couldn't even get here to bowl. It's just been an unbelievably strange thing to have happen. But that goes for anything in your life right now, I would imagine. I'm sure everybody can identify with that statement, not only just here on the PWBA tour. And yes, I'm not even going to look at the chat right now. I'm not even looking. I can't even do it. And Verity almost misses the head pin left. And that's what's crazy about the middle of the lane. It's just so inconsistent. Here's Shannon O'Keefe now, max score 279. If she can get herself up to 100 here, close to 100, it's going to really relax things the last 3 games. And she's clearly more comfortable playing out.
Looks more comfortable, and you can't argue with the ball reaction either. It's not like
no, you can't.
She's fighting to get all 10 to fall. They're falling pretty definitive.
And we saw on the first day, Christine Gill bowled right on top of Shannon. They were communicating. They were playing the same part of the lane. And Christine had a better day yesterday. And now Verity, who looked just absolutely rock solid, 4 shots in a row, now can't find the pocket. 3 shots in a row. I personally would like to see Verity move right and try to play out with her 2 counterparts here that she's crossing with. I know her rev rate makes that a little difficult, but she's got some tools in her bag. She's got some balls that would match up well out there. Now Shannon just splits the 8-9. Probably the best shot I've seen her throw the entire event. If we had an ASCAP licensing or a BMA license here, I would be playing the Eminem song, Guess Who's Back? Back Again by Eminem. Shady's back. Well, Shannon's back.
Still tell a friend.
That's right. You should tell a friend. You should tell a friend you're watching Bowl TV today as well.
Mentioned Shannon Sellen's last game. She got to plus 219 and has 6 out of the first 7 here. Madeline McDuff started with the front 6. That over on 55 and 56. Daria Paiuk also on that pair. And Daria's roller coaster continues.
Oh, my goodness gracious. I just looked up at the scoreboard. And I'm not laughing. I just can't believe it.
It's been a very strange tournament for Daria, because for 2 games she's plus 178.
Right.
And Her overall score is plus 41.
Correct.
So she's absolutely just destroyed 2 games, and that's been enough to put her in the cut right now.
Yeah,
It's
and she's in jeopardy of falling out of the cut this game. Potentially. She has 5-3 split, double, 9 spare, 7-2 split, 7-2 split, 7-2.
just struck in frame 8.
Yeah, she did. Shannon really close to the gutter on that one. Solid 9. She's getting it to peel off the gutter today. I wonder if she went to a different ball than what she was using yesterday. That looks like a GB3 maybe. She didn't really use that yesterday. She used it to burn up the lane in practice, but that was it.
All right, everybody, we do have a score update available online. Put that in the chat real quick. And leading right now on A squad, Birgit Norex from Germany, PWBA Tour champion, plus 249 overall. After 265 that game, Kara Mangiola moves plus 245. Shannon Sellums at plus 219. Taylor Boltice has been very steady throughout the course of the Queen so far. She's at plus 204. Bowling well, Rocio, plus 187. Elise Bolton having a nice tournament as well, plus 185. Lily Robles had a big day yesterday. 133 over to plus 168. Steph J, plus 166. Christine Gill, plus 155. Julia Bond, plus 143. And that cut number drops 2 pins, minus 10.
Minus 10, huh? Okay.
Which belongs to Nicole Hiroka, who is bowling on the squad. So she actually moved into the number after 214 in game number 1. First player out on A squad at the moment, Kayla Bandy, minus 19. A few others in the minus 20 range.
258 for Shannon O'Keefe. Question from Ramon in the chat, wanted to know why wouldn't Shannon just use the GB3 yesterday when she had such a bad day? Well, a few things going on here. She got information from her reps that the earlier squad that day, straighter players were playing further in and bowled well. So that information was given. Then there was the information of what those players used as far as ball choices that Shannon also had in her arsenal of bowling balls. So there was a lot of, hey, this ball should work here because it worked for someone else in the same zone. And when you go to these different parts of the center, this is what you're going to see. And then when a couple of those decisions weren't working, there was a lot of ball changing, a lot of shifting around. And it was really commitment to those ball choices that were already working for other players in that part of the lane with similar styles. So that's kind of how that came about. And she was uncomfortable most of the block. Now, today, she's got her favorite ball in her hand, playing her favorite part of the lane, and she's comfortable. Yesterday's only going to make her better, though.
Yeah, yesterday was could be considered an anomaly for Shannon O'Keefe.
Yesterday seemed so far away. So this is big for Daria here. I mean, she could bowl 191, would drop her to 31. She could have 7 strikes for 191. So 180 could be the score here. Drop her to plus 21. Shannon Sellens with a max score 256. If Madeline McDuff can strike out and bowl about 675 her last 3, she's going to have a shot at making the cut.
Yeah.
Certainly attainable.
Very much so. Seen it kind of hover around even, little minus so far. Hasn't changed much to over 2 days. It's fluctuated very little. And this gets her within a game. Another big game, and she'll have the opportunity. 10 pin there. 243 gets her under minus 100. Here is Sellens. Excellent shot. 256 still out there.
Simple game, simple execution, underrated. Should bowl more events. Those are the bullet points off the PowerPoint presentation I just put together. Maybe I'll call an entire squad one day as a PowerPoint presentation.
That would be fun.
It would be fun.
There's the hit to get into the 250s. That one's going to be a 243 here.
Yeah, she led the opening squad.
It's funny when I chatted with her for that. Shannon worked with us a little bit on Bowl TV in 2019, and in talking to her then, she's like, "Yeah, I really don't practice that much." It's like, "I'll get a couple games in before an event." And I asked her what she did to prepare, and she's like, "I wish I could tell you I practice." And I was like, "Shannon, still not practicing, are you?" She's like, "Not really, not too much." But I've got a couple of events in prior to the start of this, Boulder Women's Championships as well, and has been solid for 3 straight days here at the Queens. 256 to get plus 275.
No doubt. Absolutely.
All right, let's head over to 47-48. You got CDB, Lily Robles, Giselle Paz, and Laura Plazas. Giselle, a player who right now is trying to fight to get into the cut. 225 after being at minus 26. She'll jump to minus 1. CDB, going to give some pins back, but in great position to advance, as is Lily. And then Laura, chance to shoot 279 this game, which would put her in a very comfortable spot with 3 games left to go.
Ramon, the answer is yes on Sellens. All right, Giselle should be in the number now. We got to cover this pair a little bit a couple days ago. I remember watching them bowl. Carolyn only 3 strikes that game.
All right, athletes, you can now move to your next pair of lanes.
Just the one there for Laura, so she's going to be in the 240s there, 245, but she's going to be at plus 90, great position to advance. This game from Lily, 221, plus 189, CDB at plus 100, and then Giselle, minus 1, with 3 games left to go.
Yeah, we'll go 3. We'll go 3 at this point. Yep.
All right, so this is the time. We had Tennille make the announcement. All players moving at the same time.
Great Billy Joel song. This is the time to remember.
They're going to tell me Billy Joel had a song about moving pairs at the National Bowling Stadium.
No, but he had a song called Moving Out.
That he did. Billy Joel got it. Like, he had his time. He made a lot of great music, and then he just said, I've created enough cool stuff for the world. I'll just go out, I'll play all my hits, no new albums.
Yeah, he got some really bad financial advice, though.
Well,
he got hooked up with somebody that didn't do him right. It's actually a shame. It's actually, if you really dig into it, it's it didn't happen to you, and it almost makes you want to throw up. Not a good deal at all. Maybe Billy Joel would be interested in joining us in the booth one day. I'll tell you what. The upper management that's listening, you get Billy Joel to sit in the booth for a day, I won't even bill you for that day. There you go. It's a way to save some money.
sing us a song. You're the Bowl TV man.
That's right. Yep.
Sing us a song tonight.
So you know who's sitting at the bar putting bread in the jar. Who do you think that would be?
Say, man, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I'd say Matt Cannizzaro would be the guy putting the bread in the jar. He's got the most money out of everybody that works here. I've never seen anybody walk into White Castle and just order so many White Castle burgers like it's nothing. Like money doesn't even exist.
Let's enjoy White Castle.
He does. He does.
Very much so.
So much that he even sent me a Christmas gift. A couple White Castle mugs. I'm telling you, the guy's got more money than God. See him at the Open Championships. You need to get back in brackets. Just walk up to Cannizzaro. He'll give you the money. John wants to know, do the sports books have odds on this event here in Vegas? No, they don't, actually. Shannon Sullins has never won the Queens. Kyler Wood wants to know, Mike, how much money have you lost in the casinos? I haven't placed a single bet since I've been here. I stopped gambling in 2018. But I absolutely love analyzing all the data and all the lines of just about every sport out there. I'm retired. Dan, need to get away from Mike the Jinx. Oh my God! Every time he builds somebody up, they crash and burn. I just try to create opportunities for people. It's up to them to deliver. I think I'll bounce out of here and go take a look at 49 to 52. At Ziri, you're taken care of now. 49 through 52 have been corrected.
Thanks, Michael.
Anything for our audience. And that's why I love the community. That's why I love the chat, because something just happened here in the building. I just saw a bunch of people move around quickly. Got something being called in. It happened over on 41 and 42. Not sure what it is.
It's like potentially something with Sandra Mize. That's Neil down there right now as well. Not sure if there was
May have fallen.
potentially an injury or. I think that might have been the case. We got part of the lane maintenance crew here for the women's championships. Cleaning off the approach over there.
Yeah, boy, you always wonder when you see kind of people scramble happen right behind us. Looks like she's okay.
Neil actually sitting with her right now, and Hopefully Cassandra is all right. Feature channel currently behind lanes 45 and 46. Rocio Restrepo, Jill Creamer, and Shanna Shapelsky. Rocio and Shanna. Pretty good shape here to make the bracket, plus 241 and plus 89. Jill, a little bit farther back here, minus 340.
They're still talking about Billy Joel in the chat. Favorite Billy Joel song, everybody? Type it in the chat. I'm gonna tell you what mine is. And kind of ties in nicely with what happened last night with JT, Aaron, and I. My favorite Billy Joel song of all time is "Scenes from an Italian Restaurant."
How about that?
Are you a Bob Uecker fan, Aaron?
I'm a fan of Bob Uecker. Yes.
Because I just put 2 and 2 together. You use his call tag all the time. How about that?
Not realize that was a Bob Uecker call.
It is.
How about that?
Yeah, he says about. You use bout.
I like the apostrophe before the B.
It's because you're bout it. But yeah, no, I just realized that. Very, very close there. Just a bit outside. How about that?
Dynamite drop in, Monty.
Oh, man. I'm loving this. I don't care what you say anymore. This is my life. Got to vote for my life. Lots of piano mans in here. Suits well with us. You may be right. I may be crazy.
But we may just be the lunatics you're looking for on Bowl TV.
That's right. And it's still Bowl TV to me. Bum bum bum. Big man on Mulberry Street. Oh, that's a nice play. Pressure. That's a good one. New York State of Mind. Don't ask me why. Excellent. I'll tell you what, Bowl TV, if we ever get to 100,000 Bowl TV subscribers, you heard it here first. I will figure out a way to convince the USBC to have a dueling pianos night, and all of you will be invited. You have to pay your own way there, but we'll have a dueling pianos night somewhere, and we'll pick up the tab for all Bowl TV subscribers, and we can put in requests the whole night. How about that?
How about that?
Very nice.
How about Shannon O'Keefe right now? Front 8 on 25 and 26. So
Yeah.
taking care of business. Diana Z, front 5. We got Kelly now in our featured pair. We switch over to 49 and 50 with the front 5. So business picking up here. In game number 3, Lauren Pate, front 6 on 69 and 70.
Yeah, Mize is leaving competition here. So we got a WD here. Injury.
For Cassandra, yes, it looks like she is. The rest of the pair has continued on, so I believe she has dropped out.
Looks like it's a knee issue. She doesn't seem to be looking like she's in much pain. She's hanging out on the concourse. She does have like an ice packet right now. She's icing. Looks like she's icing her knee.
It appears Shannon O'Keefe up to the front 9.
All right, I guess I'll go down with the camera.
Business about to pick up here. It's over on 25 and 26, unfortunately out of camera range. But we will keep an eye on it for you here. It's to the left side of the center aisle here at the NBS. The famed at National Bowling Stadium. So plenty of strikes to work from here, folks. Looks like Shannon's actually getting up in frame number 10. Speaking of Bob Euchre, we'll give it the old radio call here. Do not have a good angle to actually see the pins where we're located behind lanes 45 and 46, but oh, she's already thrown a shot. She's got a spare ball. She split. .265. .265 for Shannon O'Keefe. So 729 here. It's quickly displaced the rough finish from yesterday. Plus 129 for her first 3 here. Verity Crawley is going to be in the potentially 250s on the same pair. Diana got number 7. Did not get a strike in the 8th, though. But she can shoot a 279 this game. And we're about ready for Kelly to go up for a chance at her 7th consecutive strike. After the shot, we will get a score update. Just going to hustle. 2-8 ends Kelly's run after 6. She's at plus 137 overall, so great position to make at the bracket. Score update. With 2:56 last game, Shannon Sellens leads A squad at plus 275. Second overall. Cara Mangiola plus 269. Birgit at plus 244. She's having a nice game over on 37 and 38. She could still shoot 268 this game. Rocio at plus 241. Taylor Boltice plus 224. Lily Robles plus 189. Julia Bond plus 177. Elise Bolton plus 168. Stephanie Johnson plus 142. Kelly Kulick plus 137. Gigi plus 121. Getting down to the cut number is back to -8. Jody Scherer, who is bowling on B squad, started the day as the number, and she still is. -8.
Well, I believe all the strings are over now. As I went down, I witnessed every single one of them come to an end. In on the scoreboard or on the standings does mean non-member. Mentioned that a couple of times, but glad you're tuning in. Great question. Yeah, Veronica, no 300 in this game. You guys really want to see a pie in my face? Every time somebody's got a chance at 300 now. Mike, will you take a pie for this one? Mike, will you take a pie for this one? Nope, just Jordan Richard.
I feel that was a one-player offer only.
Yeah, it was. It was. And by the way, I'm still holding out for what I saw a lot of people put down as their favorite Billy Joel song just a little while ago. Because Kyle Sherman, every time he hears this song, texts me and says, "You're the only guy I've ever met that knows every word to We Didn't Start the Fire." Every time he hears it, I get a text message.
How about that?
Yeah. Which made me start thinking about it. I don't think it would be too terribly difficult to rewrite We Didn't Start the Fire and make a PWBA tour version of We Didn't Start the Fire.
Sounds like a challenge, Mike.
Well, I might get a GoFundMe going on that one. Because I'll have to call the man himself, Billy Joel, and have him help me write it. Maybe I'll work on the opening verse between now and the end of the next squad.
What is the opening verse? What is the normal opening verse?
Yeah, it's Harry Truman, Doris Day, Red China, Johnny Ray, South Pacific, Walter Winchell, Joe DiMaggio, Joel McCarthy, Richard Nixon, Studebaker Television, North Korea, South Korea, Marilyn Monroe. That's how it starts.
All right, so would that essentially just be players?
Players,
Is that how that starts?
things, tournament names.
I kind of wanted to put you on the spot there just to make sure you.
Yeah.
After this.
Yeah, I
This
know.
bold moment here from.
I know. You could start with like Lisa Wagner, Strike All Day. Harry Truman, Doris Day. Lisa Wagner, Strike All Day. Right? That works. That's the first two.
There we go. The all-time PWBA Tour titleist.
Yeah,
That's
that's
wins.
a great way to start, huh? Great way to start the song.
Let's as we think about that, let's flip over to 45 and 46 really quick as Rocio Restrepo is on the verge of plus 300.
As we think about that. Why are we thinking about that? Yeah, Rocio. This is big. This is big for her this week. A run, a stepladder final for her is much due for her. We haven't seen a lot of people asking this week, which we've seen historically every single week on the PWBA Tour, and I guess everybody knows the answer now. But where's Jillian Martin? Right? That's what everybody always wants to know, and haven't really seen that. I don't know if you guys have seen that or not, but the reason why I mentioned Jillian Martin is I had a chance to spend some time with her at the Kickoff Classic, and her favorite PWBA Pro Bowler is Rocio.
We do have the Ohio connection, both living in the great state of Ohio. As Rocio looks to get into the 260s here, and I believe the next time we will see Jillian on the PWBA Tour this season is going to be the Summer Kickoff Classic Series, also going to be held at the International Training and Research Center. So,
no stranger to that building.
She did well.
Made 2 shows.
2 shows, 3 cuts.
66% making shows at that one. Even I can do that math. I've been hearing about all this new math. I think there's a new way they teach math now. I hear a rumor. Do you still put the line over the 6? When it's infinite? 66.666%. That's
a good question.
I wonder if they do that in new math or not. It took me a long time to figure out regular math.
I gave up on regular math when I started having to use bowling math in my day-to-day operations.
Yeah, I did notice that we're math challenged here, considering we have 7 Texas Instrument calculators sitting up here as part of our Bowl TV gear. It's got its own bin.
TI 83 or
yeah, you're right.
TI 83s. Instrument of choice for Bowl TV.
Absolutely, from the great state of Texas. 266.
She'll get to plus 307.
Yeah, looking good out there.
Rocio, we had her on camera for the final game yesterday. Had the front 8. Ended up shooting 250 that game. And kind of joked around. She's like, finally bowled well on the live stream cameras. So excited to see Rocio bowling well. Better than plus 300 now. So we're getting up there with the numbers.
Yeah, sure are. Yeah, absolutely.
We're almost ready for game number 4 here for A Squad. Round 3, the final round of qualifying at the 2021 USBC Queens. We're at the National Bowling Stadium in Reno, Nevada.
We are.
I'm Aaron Smith.
Yep, you are.
Joined by Inside Bowling's Mike Flanagan.
Who do you think you are? I am Mike Flanagan.
You are?
I am.
Thought I was.
Who's on first?
Could be Rocio now. Plus 307. All right, with 1 shot left to go here from Jill. Pretty close to finishing up across the house, so we're going to be right back here for Game 4. Start switching up some scoreboards and some game of graphics. So everybody hang tight. We'll be back for the next one here on Bowl TV for the USBC Queens.
You may now move to your next pair of lanes. You may now move to your next pair of lanes.
Well, with 2 to play here, we're going to get a real indication here of what the sweat number is going to be getting down to the top 64. I'll ask the chat, would you rather bowl A squad or B squad? Would you rather set the number or know what you have to bowl to get there? I'd rather bowl B squad, but it has nothing to do with the point I was just making. It has to do with I like to sleep in. Bowling fan says it's interesting to check out everyone's Instagram and their take on how they're bowling. Absolutely, that's a great opportunity. You should go follow all your favorite PWBA bowlers. And if you're not following the PWBA Tour on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, Bowl TV on YouTube, you're missing out. A lot of great behind-the-scenes videos and things. Well, we put out, 60 to 100 Instagram stories a day. Caitlin Nelson does that for us. And it's just continuing coverage of this event. A lot of shots that you didn't necessarily see here. And one thing I like about being able to watch the Instagram stories is you get to see so many different styles of players and where they're playing on the lanes. And you can analyze how different players are attacking them. And you scratch your head and say, why is that player so deep? They throw it kind of straight. And I just saw a straight player throwing a strike out. And it's cool to watch. And I've had a few people talk to me and say, even if I miss out on Bowl TV for a squad, I can go over to Instagram and look at just the feed of the stories and kind of get a gauge and a feel for what was going on during that squad. So good point in here. Absolutely. Tyler Wood says, I would bowl either A or B squad. Doesn't matter because I'm just that good. I like that. There's a lot of people that have bowled earlier squads and have driven home thinking they weren't going to make the cut at various events throughout the country over the years. And they get home 3 hours later, 4 hours later, whatever it is, and they're watching the live stream and they're like, oh no. Is that a good feeling or a bad feeling having to drive back and make the cut and cash?
Wasn't there a golfer who recently had that happen? Who flew home and then thinking they missed the cut and then had to fly back?
I think so.
Yeah, that was Bryson DeChambeau. Flew back to Dallas. Fly back against he actually finished top 10.
How about that little pop in?
There he is, Jason Thomas, everybody.
He is here.
All right, for game 4, we're going to take a look at Carrie Smith, Taylor Boltice, and Maria Jose Rodriguez. We talked a little bit about it last game. Cassandra Mize with a Drew last game after an injury. She did stick on the approach. So hopefully Cassandra feeling a little bit better now. Taylor in great shape. She's at plus 237.
Yep.
Carrie Smith is above the number 2 games ago, plus 47. And then Maria is kind of in that zone you don't want to be. You're still plus. You're feeling safe, but would like a few more pins here.
Yeah, kind of surprising that number is so low for Maria. To me, she's a top 12 player on tour.
I would challenge that and say top 5.
Oh, okay.
Had a great showing at the Women's Championships prior to the start. Set a record in doubles, leading in doubles. Shot 8-10.
Maria Jose Rodriguez needs a cool nickname. She's missing one.
I know for a while there was she was Major Maria.
Yeah.
Her 2 wins on tour, both majors. Whenever I write my notes, I always just put MJR. I always know who that is. But
Yeah,
I feel we need something.
I like MJR. I was thinking M-Rod, but you don't get the Jose in there. I like A-Rod. We'll have to work on that. Chat, help us out on that one.
I recall the chat going crazy for Jillian Martin nicknames as well during the Kickoff Classic series. So
they're also not supposed to be forced. They are supposed to come.
It's supposed to naturally happen.
Organic, yes. Yeah, I believe is the word.
But an early double here in game 4. Looking for an early double in game 4, I should say. Carrie Smith with the double already.
Will Levy wants to know, was Emil a one and done last week? I don't believe so. I believe we're going to share the wealth around here throughout the season, and I believe Emil will be back.
I believe you are correct.
We're trying to keep it fresh. Everybody brings a little different perspective. I know sometimes I get a little off the rails, and there are some of you that don't necessarily love that. The one commitment I do have to you that don't like that is as we get down to cuts and match plays and finals and all of that, I typically kind of throw all the ridiculousness out the window and really focus in on what's happening in front of us. But through qualifying, yes, it is a little bit more of a talk show approach that I tend to take and try to have some fun with y'all, and I enjoy that. And some of these things that have happened is, do you think I really enjoy being the black cloud? No, I don't. I want highlight videos. I want to get a bunch of impressions out there on the internet. But I can certainly take a joke and make fun of myself, and I don't take anything personal. So I love being around these ladies out here, and they give me so much access to their personalities, and they allow me to spend time with them and report on things, and that's one of my favorite things about this gig.
Well, Mike, let me be the first to say it's been an absolute pleasure to join you here on Bowl TV for the past couple of events over the course of 2021 here. Been some good times.
Absolutely. Alan says MJR works for CDB. This is a major. MJR is without the vowels. Our 2 titles are majors. There's a company called Roosevelt's out there. It's a clothing line. And they couldn't afford Roosevelt's.com, so they just removed all the vowels. And that's their domain name. RSVLTS.com, Roosevelt's. So that kind of works with MJR.
I like it.
A lot of people are going to be watching Jordan Richard today. I did say she'd lead day 1.
You did. You called that prior to the block. Maybe even mentioned it during our practice podcasts.
Yep. Hey, do we have a standings update here?
Let's take a quick gander to see if we're updated online.
This is getting real now.
We are there. New overall leader, Rocio, plus 307.
Good for her.
Shannon Tillins, plus 300. Birgit, plus 291. Cara Mangiola, plus 271. Taylor Boltice, plus 237. Julia Bond, plus 218. All competitors on A squad north of plus 200, but the all-important 64th position. Whoa. Now at minus 15. So we gave a couple pins back. So now Deandra Asbady, the 2012 Queens champion, who's bowling on B squad, has all of a sudden fallen into the number at minus 15. The first 2 players out, or first 2 players on this squad who are still in. We have Lindsay Boomershine and Daria Payuk at minus 11. And then the first players out on this squad, Nicole Hiroka at minus 22 and Kayla Bandy minus 27. Tristan Nieder at minus 32. She's actually had a pretty solid day so far. All games above 200, plus 39 for the day.
Oh, I'm going to put a question in the chat right now. Is Daria going to make the cut? Yes or no?
Well, if anyone cheated and looked at live scoring, they're going to say yes.
Well, she's either got 270 or 170. What is it this game?
It's trending closer to 270. So spare 5-bagger over on 27
Okay.
and 28.
All right. Okay.
Lindsay Boomershine, we mentioned her. She's on 23 and 24. She has 93 in the 5th of this game, split in the 5th frame. CDB with the front 5 on 19 and 20.
Yeah, there's some scores to be had down there on the low end. There really is.
That's kind of been the talk throughout the course of the event, and we've seen it. Very, very, very top of the live scoring when you get there. It's you're usually seeing some strikes. Good question from James. What happens if there's a tie for 64th place after all the bowling is over with tonight? And if we do have a tie that is for the final spot in the bracket, there will be a one-game roll-off later this evening. So this would give, depending on what squad it was on, obviously, if someone is on a squad, there is a time frame for which they have to return to the bowling center, usually about a half hour after the end of the squad, and it's posted. So usually that's phone calls and texts and everyone going crazy. Ball reps saying, "Hey, we need you." But usually players are, for the most part, kind of keeping an eye on it when it comes to that. So if you're around the number, you probably take. Obviously, we got a little bit of a break in between squads here, but you have the opportunity to, get some lunch, kind of decompress, and then you're probably keeping an eye on the scores. You probably start looking around game 2, game 3, kind of seeing what the trend is. Am I going to have to get my bowling shoes back on? Should I start stretching a little bit, get ready?
Am I going to have to go to the grocery store and get a pie?
Also true. Is that just for this round, or is it for the rest of the
No,
tournament?
this round.
Just this round. Okay.
There's 5 chances at this.
I feel that will be a common thread throughout the next broadcast is going to be just waiting to see Jordan's every shot, or first shot of every game to see.
That's what we do. We create drama within the game.
Question in the chat about Carrie Smith. She's actually from New Holland, Pennsylvania. And as we continue to look at live scoring, we mentioned the first player out on the squad, Nicole Hiroka. She started with the front 6 and has 7 out of 8, so can shoot 279, which would
she's in.
Put her in great shape with 1 to go. Daria. 7 in a row now.
She is so interesting to watch. I mean,
it's she's bold. Let's see, there's 13 games in the books right now for Daria. She has had a total of 5 games of 200 or better, including one that was 200 even.
Take a look at Maria here. Not good here in the 9th. Oh, she gets it. The 4.79. How about 4.710?
Very nice. That's she's put together a strong game here. That's a huge spare. Humongous conversion. But for Daria, getting back to her, she's got a 200, a 211, a 214, and then a 279 and a 299.
That is true feast or famine.
And then games of 143, 194, 195, 168, 179, 159, 180, 168. And she's going to add potentially 290 this game.
She's going to be like 400 over for 4, and she's going to be plus 50. I'm exaggerating on that one.
And she could have a three-game stretch here being 268 over.
Yeah, 868.
868 for 3 of her games in here. And just the ups and downs here. The roller coaster.
I'll tell you what. I wouldn't want to have to bowl Daria in the bracket.
Would you care to elaborate more?
I just know that there's a possibility that if I bowl the best I possibly can, that I can still get beat, like, to a pulp. Like, I
can see where you're coming from. Where if you see her put together 4 in a row, all of a sudden you're like,
I'm squeezing.
Okay, this is 270 average, Daria, coming at me right now.
Correct. Yep. I just wouldn't want to have to bowl her.
She is getting ready for frame number 10.
If we were to do a deep dive rundown of all the scores bowled in this event, top 20 scores, total overall.
She's going to have 3 of them.
She's going to have 3 of them, yeah. Maybe even 3 of the top 10.
I don't think there's been that many 279s this week.
No.
Maria got the first hit in the 10th frame here. Chances to still get to 229. Daria got the first hit in the 10th, so that's another 270 game at least.
Good for Carrie Smith here, also getting to 100, you were talking about.
Daria with the second strike in the 10th, so I believe she's going to have got the 290. So she has 2 of the 3 highest games so far, because we had Gigi with the 297. I don't think there's been another 290 out there.
This is where a fantasy bowling game would be so cool, where you could pick any player that you want, and you take their 3 highest games of the event. Those of you that just picked Daria, you're looking good.
Head to the window.
Gigi Mason would be another one that could do very well as well. Gigi has bowled some big games this year on tour. Kelly Kulik also.
Let's go take a look at our squad leader at the moment, Rocio, getting ready to finish up game number 4 here. Since we're all wrapped up on this pair. We get to 232 this game. She did shoot 290 in the books. Three highest games, 868. So far. How about that?
Just a bit outside.
Here's Rocio working on the double 232 still out there. Put her at plus 339. Always love the energy from Ro on the lanes.
Oh, absolutely.
Fierce, fiery competitor. Shanna sets it up with the double now. She dropped a little bit farther back that game. Still, this is going to be a big game for her to create a little bit of that buffer room heading into this final game to make sure a little bit easier to get into that cut. And come on, 10-pin, get out. Messenger. I agree. I agree, bro. Come on. Where are my hits at? She's going to be in the 220s here.
You know, with all these players getting what we're saying inside the cut number, will that cut number go up?
We've kind of been waiting for that to happen all week.
Yeah, I think it might today.
Drop to minus 15. last game. So that's the lowest it's been since we started, I feel. This game from Rocio. Shanna's going to be in the 230, so she's going to get should get north of plus 80 here. Get ready for this next game coming up. The final game for A squad qualifying. They're going to have their 15 games in the books here at the USBC Queens in 2021. And then B squad will hit the lanes later this afternoon in Reno, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 local time.
One more game, yeah, coming up here on Bowl TV.
Athletes, you may now move to your next pair of lanes.
Doris, this is live. What happened to the ticker? We will probably have a ticker for you later this afternoon when we're really dialing in the cut number. We still have another squad here left today.
So, Mike, who do we want to what pair should we get here for this final game? Who are you thinking? Who are you feeling?
Well, we've got a couple different choices here, obviously. We've got Shannon O'Keefe's pair again we could always go to. We've got Daria to see if she bowls 170 or 270. And then we've also got folks that are trying to make the cut. So we got a lot of different directions we could go in here. You know, Lindsay Boomershine's pair is intriguing. Lindsay finds herself minus 44 right now. She's going to need a game here. Very capable of doing so.
We talked about that pair. Everyone was kind of close or right around the number. And unfortunately for Debbie and Katie as well, they've all fallen back a little bit. So Lindsay, you know, the one within closest reach there, that is on 37 and 38.
You know, Giselle Pass is plus 12. She's just been kind of hanging out. Talked to her yesterday a little bit. She said, you know, I'm still minus. Like, yeah, well, you're not minus a bunch. You're right there. Kayla Bandy looks like she's, what, minus 9?
Minus 9, so potentially hanging on to a spot as soon as we get this next update.
I'm just going to throw it out there. I think this cut score is going to get to plus. It's just a gut feeling, just kind of judging from what I'm seeing. I feel like after yesterday's trial and error, so to speak, a lot of players are just like, I'm going to do what's worked the best over the last 2 days and just go with that. A lot more players playing out, which means more friction to the right. Shannon O'Keefe is still playing out. At least she was coming into this game. See if she continues to play out here. A little bit further in now. It's been a nice cross for these three ladies. All of them are going to make the cut.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a good feeling when your entire pair makes the cut. It's just a good vibe, you know, good energy.
Mike, have you put it to the folks in the chat to drop a number for the cut?
No, not yet. What do you guys think the number is going to be here? I am going to go with +2. It's going to be the cut number, and that's substantially higher than what it is right now. What do you think, Aaron?
I feel it's going to be plus. I'll go a couple pins higher.
Really?
I'll be a rebel and say it gets the double digits, +10.
Wow. Aaron's thinking +10. I just watched Daria leave a bucket, and then every pin started to fall, one after another, for a strike. That's what you call power through the pins, Aaron.
Power through the pins.
I see you guys mentioned this, but this 9 games in the tournament, 68. Just finished talking about that for like 20 minutes.
We did. Billy Joel was up here in the booth, and he was trying to plug in his piano, and he messed with some of the soundboard stuff. So we had a difficulty here in JT there for a moment, but we'll get that corrected after we go talk to William Joel, see what plugs he didn't put together properly up here for us.
Lindsay Boomershine, pair of spares to start over on 37 and 38 at -44. Giselle Paz, excuse me. Strike spare to start, she's at +12. Nicole Bootkin on Daria's pair, +20. She starts off with the front three. So some good momentum. Caleb Bandy, strike, open, and spare. While we have the opportunity, though, before we we owe you folks a giveaway. So let's get that going now, and we will deep dive into the numbers here momentarily. So, Bowl TV giveaway time. Another Bowl TV T-shirt up for grabs. One lucky viewer here during this final round of qualifying. So remember, folks, if this is your first time here, you'll see a prompt in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen that will say, a giveaway is starting up shortly. And after a countdown, you'll see another prompt that says the giveaway has begun, and you will see a submit entry button available. All you have to do is click on it, and you'll be eligible to win. If you're in full screen mode, you will, we do suggest that you take it out of full screen so you can see the chat and everything just for the giveaway. But let's go ahead and get that going here. On Bowl TV. So good luck, everybody. Lindsay Boomershine double after the pair of spares. Once again, minus 44. So she's going to need a big game here. Put herself in position to make this cut. There's been minus throughout the course of the event, but very close to even. Caleb Bandy 2 opens in 4 frames at minus 9. Daria clean through 4.
Is it safe to say that Rocio is going to lead?
I feel she was up to 337. Let's see. Shannon Sellens is at 280. And then what's Birgit at? Can't quite see that from our angle. She's on 61 and 62. Is that 311? Congratulations to Mary for winning the Bowl TV t-shirt. Mary, our marketing department will be in touch with you in the next couple days to redeem your prize. And thanks to everybody for participating here on Bowl TV. Very good. It was at plus 311. Rocio way down on the high end of the house at plus 328. So 17-pin lead for Rocio for the top overall spot heading into this final game. Rocio 4-bagger after an open to start. Folks talking about spots in the bracket, and I kind of agree that with pinfall dropping heading into competition tomorrow for the top 64 for the head-to-head matches, 3-game total pinfall, it really is a fresh start. So obviously if you've had a good day or if you good couple of days and are near the top of the leaderboard, you have this pattern figured out, so you're feeling pretty confident about that. You probably cycled through a few different bowling balls, seen a few different shapes. But the dynamic changes a little bit in match play. That's always the case. You're going to stay on the same pair for 3 games. You're going to have an opponent. And depending on what that opponent likes to do, they could potentially affect your line more than you anticipated or potentially more than you've seen throughout the course of the event. And with that, gives any player who makes it an opportunity to make a run. Lindsay Boomershine now has a max score of 247 with the 8th, 9th, and 10th to go. She's one pair off our camera feed here. She's actually stepping up in the 8th frame. 247. She's at minus 44. I'm not sure if she got the 10 pin out there. She did. Got the strike in the 8th. So still a chance to get to plus 3. Good question in the chat. How do they determine who goes up against who in the brackets? And it is based off of your seeding here in qualifying. So essentially the numbers, the 64-player bracket, the matchups always add up to 65. So 1 versus 64. So whoever qualified first will bowl whoever qualified 64th. Second seed will bowl the 63rd seed. The 20th seed will bowl the 45th seed. 32nd seed will bowl the 33rd seed. And continuing on from there. So that is how that works. Elise Fulton having a big final game. She can get to 269. She's going to be well within the cut. It's bowled well this week. Lindsay Boomershine got the got the hit in the ninth. The cut is now -9. Got that update here on site. Let's see here, -9. The cut at the moment. Which is Kayla Bandy, who is bowling on the squad. Kayla is going to drop out of the cut, though. Her max score of this game, 150. That's going to change things up here as well. Looking at the big scrolling board on site here. 39 players, better than 100 over at the moment. Daria jumped into 44th place with that 290 last game, and she's throwing some strikes again this game. Can shoot 269 still. We are almost to the cut number. So 60th place. Giselle Paz +12. Jennifer Couples at +2. Alejandra Urita -4. Jody Scherer -8. And then Kayla Bandy -9. First player out on this squad, Kristen Nieder at -25. Kristen bowling a good game here. She can get into the 230s. Lindsay Boomershine up in the 10th. She can get into the 240s still. She got the first hit in the 10th. 247 still out there. She's on the approach for the 11th. Got it. Got the second hit. Got the 10 out. So Lindsay's going to have, and fill ball is important here. This is, you need every pin you can get. Nine on the fill, 246. She gets to +2. Rocio is going to lead the squad. So we have B squad coming up at 6 p.m. Eastern. Kristen Nieder shot 236 that game, so she is going to jump to +11. Nicole Klukin, 187 that game, so she's going to drop a few spots to +13. So a lot of movement here in this final game. You had Kayla drop out of the number. Lindsay and Kristen jump ahead of it. And then, let's see, are they still on our? Alejandra, at 73 and 74. She was at, what was she at? She's at, she was at -4. She can shoot .216 this game. But if she goes spare strike in the 10th, it'd be 196, should be -8 overall versus +12. So that's what, actually, let's see. Let's take a look at Maria Jose Rodriguez here, who is getting ready for her 10th frame. Maria at +33. She doesn't mark here in the 10th. She'd be in the 170s. That would drop her down to right around even. So this is a huge shot to kick off the 10th for her. Strike, it gives her some room to work with. She's going to get it. All right. Maria looking to be safe here. Giselle Pass over on .33 and 34. Just made a spare in the 10th. Strike on the fill ball gets her to 191. And she would be one spot ahead of Boomershine at +3. So a huge fill ball here. Now we talked about what that number could be. Whether it was going to stay minus or continue to, or make its way to plus. And Boomershine at +2. Giselle Pass up on the approach right now. Strike would get her to +3. So you can have that extra spot if it came down to it. And she missed the head pin. She goes 6 count. She goes to -1. So Giselle now, the waiting game here. And here I am talking about scores, and we have someone waiting for us in our booth. I didn't even know. It's looking the wrong way. All right, let's bring her in right now. Shannon O'Keefe joining us here on Bowl TV. Hello, Shannon.
Hey, guys.
Well, after a day yesterday where we spent a lot of time together and not the type of day you were looking for, not to quote Harry Dunn from Dumb and Dumber, but you came back and totally redeemed yourself today. Take us through yesterday into today and what was different today.
Well, truly, to begin yesterday, I was never really comfortable. I know that sounds crazy because I bowled 247 the first game, but I wasn't really comfortable. And then we go to the next pair, and I thought I made some good shots, and the ball motion just wasn't the same, and I somehow grinded out 2-0, and then just disaster struck. It was just bad shot making. I wasn't comfortable, and when I'm not comfortable, bad shot making seems to happen even more. It seemed like every time I missed the pocket, it was a split. And so it really boiled down to attitude. Yesterday, in the middle of the third game, I stopped doing my pre-shot routine. I give myself a grade at the end of every day, how I stuck to my mental process, and I would say less than 50%. And so when I was done with the day yesterday, it wasn't even about the score. It was about how I competed, and I was completely disappointed in myself. And something I say to my kids all the time is it doesn't matter the end result. It truly doesn't matter. What matters is how you show up and how you compete. And if you can walk out of the bowling center being proud of what you did that day, then score doesn't matter. Well, if I'm going to sit there and preach it to my kids, like, hello, Shannon, wake up. And so I needed to do that to myself. And so today I just woke up and I said a prayer. I think everybody out there knows I have a strong faith in God, and was like, you know what, God, I trust in your plan for me. And if it's for me to miss this cut, then so be it. But I want to have fun and be proud of what I do today. And it just was complete attitude. And that's something that I have control over, nobody else. And I stayed committed from the very beginning of what I was seeing and what I was doing. And even though nobody else was doing what I was doing, I don't care. I was controlling the pocket and making my spares. And so it just boils down to attitude. And that's like the biggest learning lesson. Again, still at 42 years old, doing this forever. You're going to have days where you just completely fail. But if you can embrace the struggle and you can learn something out of it, then it was a successful day regardless of score. And so that's where I'm at.
Yesterday, you threw about 7 or 8 different bowling balls throughout the entire block. What did you use today? Did you use a bunch of balls? Or?
No. So I started with my GB3 just because I thought it'd be early and help me control the pocket, would give me a little bit of hold. And I started open. And I'm like, okay, well, that's not the right ball. And my last shot in practice, I threw a Web Tour Hybrid, which is a lower diff ball, but had quite a bit of surface on it. And I just stuck with that the whole rest of the day. The fifth game, after a couple shots, Brian's like, hey, let's play around here. Because, you know, with matches and stuff, you're in a good spot as far as number wise. So let's just play around. So I grabbed my obsession and I moved quite a bit left. I mean, I hadn't slid left of 16 all day. And with my obsession, I was sliding 25, probably going like 13, 14 to 8, 9, 10. And it was okay. I doubled and then I threw a really bad one and I opened. He's like, okay, let's, go to your obsession tour, which is a lower diff ASIM, and move back to the right, but just make like a parallel move, like 2 and 2 left off of what you were doing. And I struck out. And so just trying to play a little bit and just kind of see what's going to happen. There's not going to be as much traffic in matches. And so, yeah, just trying to get comfortable.
Shannon, you mentioned the 3 opens to start today, and for us media types,
You loved it?
Well, no,
Kidding.
of course not. But it became a talking point, and you were
Sure.
able to, as you just broke down for us, you found the right look, you saved that game, and then from there it was off to the races. For you personally, how big was saving that first game after yesterday?
Again, I wasn't even going to focus on the end result. It just really boiled down to, even though I went open yesterday, there would have been a Shannon tornado ripping through the building. And today I was like, you can't see, but I was like, okay, I just 410, but it was a good shot. So if I'm in a 410 and make a really good shot, my ball's going to wiggle. That's an easy ball change. I felt like I was throwing it good. It felt good. It looked good. And so it was just execute one shot at a time and just enjoy what you're doing. And I strung 5 together and saved the game. And so, I bowled 2-0 and I was like, whoa, yes, that's great. I'll take 2-0 with a start like that. And so it definitely, I think I had control over my mental toughness from the very beginning. Yesterday, that probably would have been another 130. But today I was like, nope, I don't care. I'm going to enjoy it. I have air in my lungs. I'm alive today. It could be much worse. So I'm doing what I love to do. So how bad can it really be? And I have control over that. So just stick to your process and enjoy the moment. And that's what I did.
I think it's pretty incredible to see what happened yesterday and then what happened today, and you on this broadcast today, just how you're so present in what's happening today. Is there anything to put a ribbon and a bow on yesterday that you will learn, that you journaled, that will help you in the future moving forward?
So much, so many things. But as I've already kind of mentioned, I just think it's just attitude. Everyone's going to throw bad shots, but it's how you react to those bad shots. And I haven't lost my cool like that, throwing bad shots, in years. I've really worked hard on my mental toughness. I've really worked hard on having a pre-shot routine, but a mental pre-shot routine. And I didn't stick to that yesterday. And for me, it was just the hello maniac. Like, that's the most important part of your game is your mental toughness. You physically can do it, but when I start being all crazy like I was yesterday, then I'm not focused on what I'm doing, and that's just executing good shots. And so then it just complicates matters, and shot making suffered. I pride myself on shot execution, and attitude just matters. So the number one takeaway from yesterday is, stay present, stay focused, stay patient, but stick to your process, and just love through it and bowl with appreciation for all of it. I bowled on the old PWBA tour when it folded, and I didn't have anything to compete on for 12 years. And then with the pandemic, we lost it for another whole year. And I'm telling you guys, it was like heartbreaking and stressing me out, because I'm like, oh my gosh, is this going to be another 12 years? Because if so, I'm going to be an old lady by then and my career is going to be over. And so one of my main goals this year is to come in and just compete with appreciation and love for God, with the ability to just do it. And so I just really harnessed that today. And it was something that I completely missed yesterday. So just want to be proud of what I'm doing. And if I'm going to preach it to my kids, then I have to live by it as well.
All right, Shannon. Well, thank you for taking a few minutes out, answering a couple of questions about the journey here through the USBC Queens. And best of luck moving into bracket play tomorrow.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
All right, Mike, that is going to wrap up A Squad here. They have their 15 games in the book. We're going to go and chat with Rocio Restrepo as well. She is the overall leader here this week. So fantastic bowling from Ro. But Shannon, some great words of wisdom, talking about the up and down of her tournament experience, but had a phenomenal day, in great shape, and now is going to be the threat that we always expect her to be in the bracket.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we saw so many different scores out there, up, down, every different way. Let's continue this thing. Rocio, would you mind going up there for just a second? We're gonna Rocio was here waiting to. I'm gonna do an interview with her for social. But I'm just gonna bring her in here as well. Just credit it right there. We'll just talk to our leader real quick
there we go.
Before we get off the air, since she's hanging out here so graciously.
All right, Rocio, you can hear us. Thumbs up. All right, so we'll bring her into the broadcast.
Yeah, let's do it.
Here she is, Rocio. Hello.
Hi guys, how are you?
We're doing well. How are you doing after another impressive performance here?
Pretty good. Just excited to finally start feeling like myself again and throwing the ball a lot better. Just every day, I just focus on one shot at a time, just seeing ball reaction. I mean, I've been a little nervous because I hadn't bowled very good like for almost 8 months. So a few weeks ago, I took a week off. I really focused on the stuff that the reps were saying to me all the time, and I feel like the time at home paid off, and I just built up from that momentum from last week in Cleveland, and I've been bringing that to here as well.
I saw you down there. I recorded your last few shots because I'm gonna do another interview with you after this for social. But you were fist pumping. Even with a big score out there, you were into every single shot. Your attitude and your confidence seems to be pretty high right now.
Well, I just feel like everyone, like on social media, they say, oh, you're not the same. And honestly, I've been dealing with a lot of stuff like physically. I will share with you guys in the future what's going on. But so that kind of gets to you. So I was a little down. I feel like I was a little insecure on what I was doing. But I feel like just going home, really working on posting shots, making better bowl decisions. I drill a couple new bowls. I talked to the reps and I was telling them what I wanted to see that I wasn't seeing on the lanes. And I feel like they listened. They helped me. And I'm finally feeling like myself. So I feel like I can actually celebrate a little more and just be enjoying myself because I had a little more room and I can just let go of all the, the fears and insecurities that come in when you're not performing at the highest level.
Now, Rocio, you mentioned taking the week off and working in chatting with the ball reps and working on some things. What are some of the things you were really focusing on to improve to get ready for this event?
So honestly, I feel like my start has always been key to my delivery, and I was very uncomfortable just the moment I held the ball. It felt like it wasn't me. So I stay home. I really focus on making sure that my start was always the same, that my hand positions were, correct, because bad start, bad finish. And one thing that the reps kept noticing was that I wasn't really posting shots, and it's because I've been dealing with a hip injury. I actually have to have surgery for that. But I was like, well, that should don't matter because I'm out here, I'm working. I feel strong, so it's obviously something physical. So I focus on just keeping my body positioned throughout the shot, just not leaning so much, not allowing my body to have a lot of movement. And then with that, I just focus on being more aggressive at the release. And to do that, I feel like I needed to drill a couple balls just because everything was rolling so early for me. So I feel like everything was forcing me left, but the angles weren't what the lanes were asking for. So with that being said, we drew a couple balls and just working on those three things on my physical game. I feel like it's finally paying off.
No, you just dropped a nugget there. Hip surgery. When will you have to go through that? Will it be after the season?
So not sure yet. I'm actually just taking 1 week at a time. It happened 1 year ago, and the doctors did not do an MRI soon enough. So I've been in a lot of pain, but it seems like with the physical changes I actually made, I I don't have as much pain. So that's what I'm here because I feel like yes, it's broken, whatever it is broken, but I feel like I'm strong enough. I've dealt with worse things than this. And my doctor said I can break it worse. So they just told me we can postpone it, but technically, I should get it sooner just because the recovery is very long. But I'm taking 1 week at a time.
All right, Rosia, that's we didn't know about the hip injury, so that's
No,
something new
not at
for
all.
us. So we're glad you're looking into that and getting that fixed up soon. But just a phenomenal performance here. We love seeing you bowl well. We love seeing the fire, the intensity out there. So we look forward to watching a long run here in the bracket coming up in the next few days.
Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate the time.
Oh, we appreciate you. Boy, that's a gutsy young lady right there. That's incredible.
All right, thanks, Rocio, and we'll see you in the bracket.
Thank you.
Wow, crazy. We got one more coming up too. We're gonna triple this thing out
All
here
right.
because there's somebody I wanted to talk to as well who's up here. Daria, ready for us? Got a second?
I'm not sure what kind of questions.
She's not sure what type of questions we want to ask her. Yeah, go ahead, grab the headset up there. Our Billy Joel's not here to help put the headsets on right now. Okay, all right, let's bring in Daria Payok. Daria, congratulations on your 868 series during this event.
Thank you. Thank you a lot.
Take us through what's been going on in your USBC Queens. It's been a roller coaster ride, wouldn't you say?
Oh my God, you have no idea. It's such a roller coaster. I don't know how much I can handle myself. I am the one putting myself in the situations. It's just that my bad shots are so bad. It's unbelievable. And then the moment I find it, I am able to put it together, and that's showing in the very high games. So I'm going to try to keep that momentum, and whatever I was feeling in those high games, I'm going to try to bring it tomorrow. But I'm definitely very relieved and happy because it has not been an easy 15 games for me.
No, it hasn't been easy at all. You did have a 299 yesterday, and that blower 8-pin might be the most devastating 8-pin I've ever seen on going for a 300 game.
Yeah, when I posted on Facebook, I said that it was the game that raised me from the dead, but also broke my heart because it was very painful to see it standing there.
Yeah, absolutely. I made a comment the other day that if I could pick anybody in the field to throw 12 shots in the pocket and they were going to hit the pocket 12 times, I would pick you. Power through the pins is what I said. And yesterday you bowled 299 for me, which was great. But I got to ask you about the consistency. What are you working on to try to be more consistent going into now that you've made it into the cut, which was questionable for a while? What are you going to do to make sure that you can be more consistent in the bracket?
Okay, so that might be the first time I'm ever going to speak publicly about that, but I have been struggling really hard with my physical game. And unfortunately, this is something that gets triggered when I perform. And it's my follow, like you can see it with my follow through. It's probably my hips that are closing down, and those are the shots where I miss a lot left, and I get really frustrated. My follow through goes to the right. So I'm gonna try not to really focus that much about like my physical game. I'm just gonna try to get it to the pocket. But the problem is that when I practice, I bowl so well, like physically bowl really good. And then this problem doesn't happen. So it's very hard to fix something that it just looks so good. And then on the tournaments, it's just like when one shot goes bad, I'm like, okay, I'm going to think about my shoulders. Maybe I'm not going to close. I'm going to think about my hips. And it's just such a vicious circle. So the games where I struggle, I really struggle mentally. And I'm very glad I'm wearing a mask because, yeah, I'm very glad I'm wearing a mask so you cannot see.
Daria, heading into tomorrow, we kind of documented kind of the ups and downs of crossing the house as well. And, but, you get to stay on the same pair, you get to break it down, you get to spend some time. How do you feel that's going to work to your advantage heading into match play tomorrow?
I'm going to give my best. We'll see how that's all going to go. I'm going to have a new plan for tomorrow. I'm very excited. I'm drilling a really good bowling ball. So I'm just going to make friends with it, and we're going to roll some strikes.
Well, I know you don't like this when I say these sorts of things because it's one shot at a time and no expectations and no pressure. But I'm just going to tell you right now, I would not want to have to bowl you in the bracket with the scores you're capable of putting up and have demonstrated here through qualifying.
Well, I take it as a very big compliment. I also do feel sometimes that it's very hard. It's very hard sometimes what to expect from me because I can go easily from 160 to 290. Sometimes I can also go the other way around, but let me just focus on the better results tomorrow.
All right, Daria. Well, thank you so much for joining us here, talking us through some of your journey here through at the USBC Queens, and we look forward to seeing you compete once again tomorrow. So thanks for joining us here on Bowl TV.
I'm so happy, guys. Thanks so much for having me here.
Absolutely.
Awesome. And it's just amazing that she can even come out and compete because it was just a couple months ago she wasn't even allowed to compete in the United States, and it's gonna be a process. She wasn't able to bowl all that much. She says when she practices, things are great. Gets in competition, turn the lights on, the wheels fall off once in a while, but they also don't fall off once in a while. And she's bowled some of the highest games we've seen here at the National Bowling Stadium. So awesome that we were able to have access to 3 different players. I know we stayed on a little bit long here, but I appreciate the access to the players.
Very much so. And once again, that dynamic is going to change tomorrow. Everyone's going to be staying on the same pair of lanes for their matchups, going to get the opportunity to kind of settle in. So excited to see that, but we're still not determined yet. We still have 5 games to go coming up here for B Squad coming up at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 local time here at the NBS. So we're looking forward to that. We're going to have the cut number. We're going to be running down the numbers. Will anybody be able to catch Rocio for the top seed? Who's going to be the cut? Is it going to get plus? We're going to have to find out and see here on Bowl TV. So we look forward to that, and we hope you do as well. So a big thank you to the USBC and the USBC Board of Directors, our official lane maintenance provider, Kegel, here for the PWBA Tour and the USBC Queens. Our gold industry partners, 900 Global, Rotogrip, and Storm. Of course, the RSCVA and the Row here in Reno. Our competitors this week here at the Queens, a big thank you to them for putting on a show and giving us so much great content to work with. Of course, you watching on Bowl TV. We always have a blast. So we thank you for your continued support. And of course, the staff here working the event, the NBS staff as well, for the long hours they're putting in to put on a top-notch event for these competitors. So for the Bowl TV crew, Jason Thomas, Mike Flanagan, I'm Aaron Smith. We're going to sign off for right now, folks. And we'll see you in just a couple hours. Thanks again for joining us here on Bowl TV. And remember, folks, on Bowl TV, bowling lives here. We'll see you soon.